So if you're watching this video, you probably need help with budgeting, and if you haven't already made a budget, you probably need to. The first thing I'd like to say is keep spending. We need to see where you're spending your money. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start today, write this down somewhere on a calendar or a piece of paper, I don't care, and just write down that today is the day that you're going to start doing your budget, and then set the date for a month from now where you're going to look and then record everything that you spent in between that time. Okay, and there's two ways that I'd recommend that you do that. Okay, so the first method is all cash. So what we're going to do is we're going to get a notebook and we're just going to write down every time we make a purchase. And then keep up with all these transactions within the month, and then at the end you'll categorize them into categories that fit with what you purchased. So if you go to McDonald's, Taco Bell, Subway, whatever, all those are going to be in food or going out, however you want to put it. Okay, so there's some things that you spend your money on that's going to change every month, and there's some things that stay the same. So like your phone bill is going to stay the same. Your insurance, whatever, is all going to stay the same. So keep those separate because those aren't going to change. What we're really looking at is things that change. So gas, obviously gas prices change. How much you're eating out. Obviously, with it becoming colder now, you're probably not going out as much, or maybe you actually are going out more because you want to go watch a movie. I don't know. There's a couple of cons to this method though, because one, if you have cash, when you pay for something, you're going to get change back, and it's hard to keep up with change. I don't know about you guys, but I always throw change. There's all kinds of change in the bottom of my floorboard and just everywhere. I can't keep up with it. I have a jar that I put change in, and I don't even know where that jar is. So the second method I recommend, and it's the one that I use, is just keeping up with your bank statements. So this is something that if you've already got a bank account established and you only use debit cards, then you can go ahead and use this. But if you use cash and debit cards, then we need to start now and only use debit cards. So you're going to take your debit card, you're going to make purchases, and it's all going to be on your bank statement already. So you don't have to do any work. All you got to do is swipe your card. How easy is that? So the benefit of this is it's already in a list for you. All you have to do is print it out, or if you don't have a printer, you can just write it down. So then again, we're going to go back and categorize everything, put everything in a category, and the things that you probably spend the most money on is probably food, or at least it is for me. And you probably, if you're a girl, you probably spend a lot of money on makeup or clothes or something. So we're going to categorize that and say, okay, this is how much we spend on clothes, this is how much we spend on makeup, this is how much we spend on food. So with that, now we can start working on how we're going to change that. And the fourth thing is really simple. It's just evaluate what's important to you. So I don't want you to cut out eating out altogether, because that's just unrealistic. And that's the number one thing that makes people fail at budgeting. Okay, so just cut back on things that you can live without. If going out is important to you, keep going out. Just if you think it's a problem, if you're going out 5 nights out of the week, then maybe just go out 3 times a week. Something like that. Obviously you can judge that on your own. So a lot of times you'll probably feel guilty if you just made a budget and you're driving past McDonald's and you're like, man, I don't need to be spending money on this. But the truth is, you need to just make a section of your budget to go towards the things that you want to do. So you have a cap. Let's say you spent $200 a month on going out, just for example. And you're like, okay, I need to cut that down by $50 or so. So now you have $150 to go spend on whatever that is that you like to do, and you don't have to feel guilty about doing it because you know you've set that money aside for that. Alright guys, so life is short. Just keep doing what you're doing, cut back where you need to, and just enjoy knowing the fact that you don't have to feel guilty making purchases anymore. So how does spending 5% less than everyone else on everything that you buy sound? Because that's what we're going to talk about next. Alright guys, so if you like that, then please stay tuned, because we're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff like this. God dang, what the fuck?